เป็นยังไงบ้างมาถึงวันนี้
How's everyone to this day?
จริงได้ฟังหลักจาก
You've heard a lot of principles from many teachers.
จริงหลักมันมีไม่มาก
The principles
หลักที่
aren't that many
ไม่มาก
in order to practice.
แต่จริงๆมันขึ้นอยู่กับแต่ละคน
It's actually depending upon you.
อย่างเรารู้สึกว่าตัวเราเนี่ยแต่ละคนไม่เหมือนกัน
For you, you would realize that you are different from others.
ใจคอยังไม่เหมือนกัน
Your natural temperament are different.
หลักในการภาวนาคล้ายๆ
But the principle
ในการภาวนามัน
is the same.
แต่ละคนชอบอะไรไม่เหมือนกัน
Each of you would like different things.
แต่ว่าตัวที่อยากจะให้ฝากให้ทุกคน
But there is one thing
ฝากให้ทุกคนพิจารณา
I would like you guys
ตัววิหารธรรมที่เรา
to really consider is your meditation object.
แต่ละท่านก็จะเลือกขึ้นมา
Each of you will have to select one.
ผู้ช่วยสอนแต่ละคนก็
Each teacher
ที่การ
will have his or her approach
ในรายละเอียด
in details. It could differ,
แต่สิ่งที่เหมือนกันก็คือทุกคน
but it's the same.
เวลามีวิหาร
For all the teachers
จะใช้
would use
ใช้วิหารธรรม
one meditation object that each person is comfortable with.
อย่างเราฟังที่พระอาจารย์อาท่าน
For example, พระอาจารย์สมชัย
การขยับเคลื่อนไหวรู้สึก
when he was teaching us, he observed the movements of the body.
หลวงพ่อท่านใช้อานาปานสติ
He told us that Luang Pa would use the mindfulness of the breath.
ส่วนท่านพบว่า
But for Ajahn Somchai, he felt that it's not suitable for him.
หมอจะใช้เรื่องการขยับเคลื่อนไหว
He felt that the movements of the body is more suitable for him.
ใช้กรรมฐานตัวนี้
So that's what he used as his meditation object.
ที่จริงๆไม่เหมือนกัน
That's one example that
ท่านก็
the meditation object could differ and he could succeed.
แต่ละคนปัญหาของ
So the main problem for many of you guys
เราฟัง
is when you listen to the
บางวันเราก็รู้สึกว่า
approaches of different teachers.
ทำตัวนี้
One day you felt that using the meditation object and it's not good for you and you would change.
บางวันบริกรรม
And some days you will
ข
use
ยับเคลื่อนไหว
the mantra, some days you will use the movements, some days you will use the breathing.
มันเหมือนถ้าเราเปลี่ยนไปเรื่อย
But if you keep
ๆ
changing,
เราจะไม่เก่งสักอย่าง
you will never become skilled at any of them.
กินในมุมใดมุมหนึ่งของ
In fact,
แต่ละคนที่เลือกนะ
it just for whichever meditation object you choose, there will be some days that it's hard for you. There will be some days that it's good, easy.
ไม่ได้อยู่ที่
The problems is not the meditation object itself.
ปัญหาไม่ได้อยู่ที่ใจเราบาง
It's
วัน
actually the
บาง
mind
วันก็ไม่ดี
could be good on some days and bad on
บาง
others.
วันก็รู้สึกว่าใจเรา
On some days,
ภาวนาได้ดี
you feel that you can practice really well. You have the calmness. It's easy to practice.
วัน
On some days,
ภาวนาไม่ดี
you feel that it is completely confusing, completely scattered mind.
และปัญหาที่ทุกคนต้องเจอ
But it's the same problem for everybody.
พอเราเจออย่างเงี้ยก็อดทนไม่ได้
So when
เราเปลี่ยนมัน
you experience this, you will have to make a little adjustment. And sometimes as you keep adjusting, you will keep changing the meditation object. So on some days when it's bad, you change the meditation object and you never become skilled at any of them.
หรือว่าเราเปลี่ยนไปเปลี่ยนมาสุดท้าย
So as you changing here and there all the time, you would feel that you do this and it's good.
อาจจะเกิดความเข้าใจผิดว่าสุดท้าย
And there's a misunderstanding. You might feel that it's in your control and you adjust this and that and then it becomes good. And if you make another adjustment here and it gets better. So the purpose for the practice is actually not that. The main objective of Dhamma practice, it's about learning about yourself. It's about learning about your body and mind,
โดยเฉพาะจิตใจตัวเอง
especially your mind.
มันกลับกรอก
It's always flip-flopping,
ดีบ้างไม่ดีบ้าง
back and forth.
หรือไม่เรามีกิเล
It's
สชนิดไหนที่เรา
good and bad, or there could be some defilements that
แต่ละคนเรา
arise
จะมีกิเลสที่
consistently. Each of you will have each
เรามีนิสัยเสียบางอย่าง
bad
กิเลสบางอย่างที่
defilements or habits of your own.
ตรงนี้เราอาศัยการภาวนาอาศัยการ
So
เจริญสติ
as you keep practicing the
การ
mindfulness,
เจริญสติเนี่ย
the more mindfulness
เรียนรู้ตัวเอง
you do, you have, you will study, you will understand yourself. Whatever that arise frequently, try to practice and observe. That's the core. That's the main direction for your practice.
ในองค์มรรคเขาเรียกว่า
It's the key of your practice in the Eightfold Noble Path. It's in the right effort. Remember on the first day when Luang Por taught us about the Eightfold Noble Path,
สัมมาสังกัปปะ
it's about the right view,
จะ
the right action, the right speech,
สัมมาวายามะนี่คือความเพียรชอบ
and the right effort. In the right effort, what does it mean?
สัมมาชีวะสัม
And
มา
then
สติสัมมาสมา
it's
ธิ
the right livelihood
ตัวสัมมาวายามะเนี่ย
and the right mindfulness.
ถ้าอธิบายกันให้ง่ายๆว่า
The right effort.
มันเป็นอันนี้
So to simplify it, which is the direction, the approach for you to follow, is for you to understand yourself. Now that you hear in the retreat,
สอนกันเรื่องภาวนายังไงนะเจริญสติ
it's about how to practice mindfulness, how to cultivate mindfulness in order to get the correct
ถู
mind,
กต้องคือ
to get
ให้มีจิตที่
the
ถูกต้องหรือว่าจิตที่มีสัมมาสติสัมมาสมาธิ
mind that has the correct mindfulness and the right
พ
samadhi.
อเราเกิดจิตที่มีสัมมาสติ
When you have the mind that has the correct mindfulness and the correct samadhi, it's about learning about yourself, learning about your own mind.
เรานะผมย้ำนะ
The objective for you
เราจะต้อง
is not about
จิตถูกต้องตลอด
in order to make it right all of the time. It's impossible to make it right all the time.
จิตจะต้องดีตลอดเวลา
It's not about being good all the time.
ภาวนาเราตั้งเป้าผิดตรงนี้
So when you set out the wrong objective initially, your mind will struggle. You feel that the mind is incorrect. You will struggle. You have to fix it. When the mind is not stable today, you need to do something
ทางที่ถูกไม่ได้
in order to find the correct way.
เนี่ยหาทางที่ถูกมัน
By searching for the right way, it could be right in some perspective, but when you struggle, but you forget the main objective.
คือสิ่งที่มันปรากฏ
The main objective is about what's present, what's right in front of you, what defilements that are arising, what feelings that are
สิ่ง
arising,
เหล่านี้ที่จริง
what phenomena that are arising. So the main principle
ไม่ได้หนีไปไหน
is that the present
มันไม่ได้
is
ซับซ้อนนะ
it never escapes you. It's not that complicated. So be mindful of the present.
ใครชอบรู้กายดูลง
If you like to be aware of your body, be aware of the body presently. If you see the body sitting, as you feel the body, feel it in the
ปัจ
moment.
จุบันมีความรู้สึกอะไรเกิดขึ้นในใจ
Whatever feelings that arise
ความทุกข์
in the feeling, in the mind,
เกิดขึ้นในใจ
happy, unhappy, indifferent that arise in your mind, or right now you're sitting here listening to Dhamma, you're feeling greedy, you feel anger.
ลักษณะเหล่านี้มี
As you feel it, just be mindful of the present.
ผิดว่า
There's no need for modifications or for searching
ที่ไหนความรู้สึกมันอยู่ที่ไหน
to search for where the mind is or for where the feelings are. Just be mindful of the present, whatever feelings arise, whatever phenomena arise. It's not that complicated. Sometimes you just struggle. When you struggle, you're searching.
มันกลับกลายเป็นว่าเรา
It's actually you
ให้
blocking
เราเห็นสภาพ
yourself from seeing the true phenomena that are arising at that moment.
พอเราดิ้นรนมากๆ
So when you struggle too much,
สิ่งที่มันปรากฏคือ
whatever that
ใจเรา
is
หนักมันจะมีความหนัก
present is going to be showing you. You're going to see that you're going to feel the weight, you're going to feel the dullness, you're going to feel the
พอมี
sluggish.
ลักษณะนี้
So when you have this, what do you fabricate next? And then you struggle more. You try to fix it further. You're trying to correct it even more. And the more you try to correct it, the worse it gets. The more you correct, trying to correcting the mind, you actually go away from the right action. So be comfortable. The present is always there. Whatever the mind is, just be mindful of the mind. Just take it easy and make it simple. So there's simplistically be observant, be mindful of the present naively. Don't make it complicated. Just be mindful of the present. Be aware of what's happening, and it ends with your awareness. Usually, you just don't end together with the awareness that you have. But that's the training that is required, that once you become aware, it ends there. When you dislike something, for example, when you feel that your mind is scattered, your mind is busy, you don't like it, you dislike it. The mind is heavy, the mind is tight, the mind is fixating on something. And then once you know it, you dislike it, rather than just knowing that you are staring. Just knowing that you're staring as the principle. But the more you do, the more you staring harder. Because you're not just observing. You're just not observing with an impartial mind because you have a stake in it. You want to correct it. You want to change it. You want to be right. So this way, you're just not observing the way things are. And you want to correct them. So Luang Po always gave the principles, that gave 3 principles of observing the mind. The first one is before seeing. Before, it's just don't wait to see it. Don't anticipate or expect anything. Don't search for anything. For example, you sit, you are right here in the present. If you feel that you don't know what you feel at this moment, and you don't know what to see, and then you start searching. You start searching for the mind. This is anticipating, you waiting to see, or you waiting to see, you expecting, wait for something to show. Some people using the mantra, and they're waiting to see when the mind will get lost. Or sometimes, if you use the movements, and you would just stare at your hands to wait and see when the mind would move. So this is like the expecting to wait and see. So it's like waiting in ambush. This, you are violating the first rule of observing. Don't wait to see something. Don't anticipate anything. Let the mind do its own work. So that's a principle. Let the mind do its own work. So then most of you guys would not surrender to this. You keep fighting to death with it. You just fight to death and you don't let the mind work. You just keep watching the mind closely. But that's natural. When you start to practice, you want to be good. But unless you start to let the mind work, for the mind to do it, you would not be able to observe the mind. So studying Dhamma is like doing a research of the mind. On the other hand, if you don't let the mind work, so when you're not actually letting it happen, not letting the mind to do the work, that's another kind of defilement. So then, but if you could see that you're actually controlling the mind, so then once you see this, let the mind work on its own, let the mind get lost. this part, if you let the mind get lost and do the work, it will look bad, it will be bad. Because sometimes the mind, when you let it do its own work, and it's just full of bad thoughts, let it be. You cannot stop the mind from thinking bad things. This is the nature of the mind. Actually, on the other hand, you're actually supposed to see it when it keeps thinking bad thoughts. Have you ever experienced this? Oh my God, something you shouldn't think about, and so bad, but these thoughts arise, and then you start to blame yourself of how could you think these bad thoughts? Actually, you cannot forbid it from thinking these bad thoughts. The mind would do the work on its own. It will fabricate, it will just think. Don't try to forbid anything. It's your job for you to learn. Let it do its own fabrications. Let it arise and then become aware. So when you do your practice, when you do the walking meditation, or doing your chanting your mantra, the best part is let it be lost, be comfortable, let it do its work, let it be lost, and be mindful after. So then the second rule for mindfulness, when you're observing it, don't jump deep in. So if you pass the first step, then the second, you see the defilements arise. Once you see it, you guys, when you see it, you jump right in and send the mind in to cling to it. And then you feel like, oh, today I catch it. For example, someone called you and said bad things to you. And then you realize, that, oh my God, I could see that I have anger, and then keep observing that you are angry. You see that you are feeling angry, and the anger just worsen. So when you observe your body angry, and the anger actually got even worse. Have you experienced this? And then the people around you, how did you practice? And you become so angry, such an angry, irritable person. But you can you are trying to observe the anger, but the anger remains. When you see these defilements arising, you jump right in, just like to simplify it, just like you jump into the water, the defilements in the water, and you jump into the water to see it, in order to see it clearly, and you try to see when it would disappear. So when you do this, the second rule, for example, when there's some phenomena that are arising and then you jump into it, you sinking into it, you sinking into the observing, the object. Now the third rule. So the third rule, whatever the feelings that arise, so I said earlier that just whatever you become aware, and that's the end of it as well. But then most of the people are not satisfied with that. You like or dislike, that happen frequently. Or even sometimes, at that moment, you had the right mindfulness that moment ago, you become aware of it correctly, and then you were pleased about it, but you didn't see that you were actually very pleased with it. And then that's already a mistake. Or that one moment ago, you become mindful of, you weren't becoming mindful in time, or something arose and you couldn't become aware of it in time, or you wanted to correct it, you want to fix it, you want to get rid of it. For example, you see that you actually over-focusing and you dislike it. These feelings arise. It's actually the present, that something that had arisen had already ended. But these feelings that followed, it's another moment, another mind. Another moment of this mind is actually criticizing. the previous mind that has already passed, you're not actually becoming aware of the present anymore. So you have new feelings and trying to criticize the previous mind that has already passed. So the third rule, so you actually getting stuck in good or bad, like or dislikes. So when you have this, you said you just don't understand what you were becoming mindful of. You couldn't understand what you see. So take it easy. These are 3 rules. But when you do it, be mindful of the present. That's already enough. The present never runs away. Whatever that arises in the present, just become aware of it. So the meditation object or the tactics could be helpful for you to get the perceptions and the memories of the present, of being mindfulness in the present. So whatever you like as your meditation object, it could be your mantra, it could be your breathing. So be mindful of the present. Whatever that arises in the present moment, that's it. It's not complicated, it's not complex. Okay, that's it. So let's start submitting the homework.
I've been studying Luang Por teaching for 1 year, have attended some courses before, have not had a Dharma interview with this teacher before. In formal practice, almost every day I practice 1 hour of sitting meditation in the morning and 1 hour in the evening on the mindfulness of breathing. When the mind is concentrated and the breathing becomes to cause an object, the awareness simply becomes more aware of itself. Oftentimes I see restlessness in the mind during sitting. During daily life, who's it? Is that you? Raise your hand. Thank you. In daily life, I practice awareness automatically, watches the mind and the body out of habit. Often, I also notice the mind that is distracted to watch financial and geopolitical news during the day. My question is, I would like teacher to check on my practice, especially with regard to overfocusing. If you like to interested in political news, makes your mind restless. If you like these kind of things, your mind will wavers ups and downs. Every time that you watch this kind of news, your mind wavers ups and downs very often. If you watch these things, your mind will be restless quite a lot. So you have to spend your time wisely. You have to realize that these things make your mind restless. The more you watch them, the more difficult your practice becomes. When your mind is restless, while sitting meditation, you'll discover that you realize that your mind is full of restlessness. Once you are restless, you start overfocusing, you start control the mind so that it becomes still and calm. The more you do it, it becomes even more restless. So I think you should change to walking meditation instead, like Luang Por taught. Do more of it. Like when you walk and be aware, when you move, you be aware. If you can't observe the mind, observe the body instead. While observing, I would suggest you to reduce the phenomena of restlessness. You have to find the cause of the mind being restless. If it's not necessary, you should reduce your time watching these news, because it's endless. Because actually the effects of these news to us is less. It's fewer less than you thought. When you watch these news, it actually satisfies the feelings inside you. The more you watch it, the more you're addicted to it. But the thing is, your mind will never find true happiness. There will be a lot more chaos. So instead, try to search for something that try to reduce these news watching. The more you watch them, the aversion you become, the angrier you become. Especially like financial aspects, it keeps you greedy. It gives you greed. So instead, walking meditation more often. How many hours have you been doing?
Walking, meditation, like how many hours?
Yes. How many hours?
I don't do formal walking meditation very much. I like to do bushwalking. So whenever I go and bushwalk, almost like every day, half an hour to 1 hour, the mind just automatically watch the body sensation, the process.
Is it bushwalking? What is it?
Walking in the bush.
So I'm gonna speak in English to answer your question.
Okay.
I suggest you that you choose the walking meditation. It is better for you, because like if you are sitting meditation, you might have a lot of fabrication, and when you see that you have a lot of fabrication, you try to control. When you try to control, you fall in the too focusing state. And when you are trying to control, you cannot do mindfulness. So I better choose for my suggestion. I think you better choose the walking meditation. Better for you. And I suggest you that reduce watching your phone. Okay. Walking and watch the body moving. Watch the body moving. Because like if you try to directly watch your mind, you still cannot see. But you can see that when your body moving. Your body moving, just see it move.
Can Ajahn help to sitting meditation, whether I'm okay or I'm over-focusing?
So deep inside, you still want to do sitting meditation. I think you the one that can do a sitting meditation. You need to learn about it to be mindfulness first. To be mindfulness, it is better to walk. When you walk, it is easier to have the mindfulness. So when you have the strong mindfulness to do in a walking, then you will try to then you will maybe sometime you change to sit and then do the sitting meditation. But to do sitting meditation is not that easy. So, and what I'm seeing to your mind right now, you're still not ready, because when you are sitting, the first you do that, you try to control to control the mind. So better walking, do the walking. And when you have a strong mindfulness in the walking, then when you do it, when you do sitting meditation, you will do it easier. Okay, no need to watch. I think no need to watch. Just try to do as I tell you, and you'll see the result. You will change. Okay, thank you.
I've been studying Luang Po teaching for 9 years, have attended some courses before, have had a Dharma interview. In formal meditation, I practice in the morning and evening, 1 hour each time, including chanting mantra. While walking and sitting meditation, I would chant the mantra Buddha. While observing the mind, I discovered that my mind was drawn towards the thoughts, but sometimes I could control them. In daily life, I observe the body and mind chanting Buddha. My question is, 2 years ago in Malaysia, I get to submit a homework to Ajahn for the very first time. Compared to myself to that time, I felt that there is more of self-awareness take place more often and quicker. And even though the mind is still attracted to the thoughts more often, very often, but my mind seems to be more normal and more relaxed. Even though there's still struggling and there's non-self quite a lot. I'm not sure whether this observation is correct or is something that the mind created. Please kindly give the guidance. Thank you.
แม้ยังคงมีความดิ้นรนอาจตามมาเกิดขึ้นบ่อยๆไม่แน่ใจว่าการสังเกตเหล่านี้ถูกต้องหรือเป็นเพียงสิ่งที่จิตสร้างขึ้นขออาจารย์ชี้แนะด้วยครับ
What you've seen is better. It's more correct. But at this moment, could you see that you're controlling yourself because you got excited? Could you see that? You don't have to do anything. Just be aware of it. You don't have to do nothing. You can see that the mind cannot be commanded, especially the mind that's got excited. It's like it's become excited and wavering. It might be because you sit in a big room and you become excited easily. You don't have to do anything. Just observe it. Just know it. Now you're not knowing it correctly. It's like you're trying to handle it, try to just know, let it work. I'm trying to take you to observe it. You see, the feeling isn't gone. When you observe it, the feeling is still there. The mind still beating really hard. The heart still beating. Let it be beating. Let it beat. It is none of our business. You can recite it in your mind. It's none of our business. It's none of your business. You let it keep beating. Could you see that the beating lower? Now you're thinking. You didn't observe. You are driven away to think. Sometimes the beating is higher, and sometimes it's low. You don't have to get involved with it. You don't have to do anything with it. You just observe it. Whenever the thought arises, you can observe like this as well. Or any struggling happen, you can observe like this too. This struggling actually one of the aversion. Could you see that one is arises, the mind isn't comfortable. The mind isn't. There is dissatisfaction. The mind didn't feel happy. There's a little bit of aversion there. Once the aversion arises, you cannot forbid it to happen. You just be aware that it exists. You have to be aware that there's an uncomfort within the mind. This is one of the aversion. You cannot forbid it to happen. You cannot do anything with it. Just know how it works. Because you see that it's more pacified. You do less with it. Could you see that just now you see a little bit? It's just gone and then come back again. Could you feel that? When you observe like this. When you observe it, you don't have to interfere with it. You don't have to get to do anything with it. When you observe the mind, it is exactly like this. If you can't observe it, you don't have to try to striving for observing it. You can do walking meditation instead. What you practice is got a lot better. Actually, if you're not sitting in front of me here in this room, your mind is more relaxed actually. You just do what you do. You can chanting in a relaxing way. I walk you through again. Could you see that the mind, the heart beating? You can chanting the mantra together with the heart beating, like chanting Buddha and Buddha. But you don't have to get to do anything with the mind. The mantra is something. The Buddha is something that the mind knows. The mantra or the Buddha is just the background. You just know the presence. The Buddha is like in the presence, which is the rhythm. It's just a rhythm for the mind to know. You can chanting Buddha together at the same time. You can chanting the Buddha in the present. If the excitement arises, you don't have to just solely observe the excitement. Just chanting the Buddha together with it. Chanting Buddha and then know it as well at the same time. You don't have to do anything else. See, it's easy. When chanting the Buddha and you observe the feelings within your mind at the same time, actually you can do very well what you're practicing. You carry on doing so, okay? Is there any other questions?
Ajahn, I'm not sure whether I can, is it a valid question? The knowing quality, is it okay, reasonable, or not sure? How is the knowing quality?
Your knowing at this moment is not natural. Not natural knower. But your knower is a bit too focusing. Not a natural. Can you feel that? Not natural. You just know that it's not natural. When you know it's at its natural, your defilement will stop by itself, because we not interfere the defilement. When you become a knower and we not interfere the defilement, your true mindfulness will happen. The correct mindfulness. When the correct mindfulness arises, the defilement stops, and the correct samadhi will arise. It is opposite to the defilement. So when you have the natural knower, and the defilement that is playing in the moment will stop by itself, and you become a knower. But this is how to explain. But when you watch it with the natural mind, watch it with the natural mind and do not interfere. You only chanting Putto, Putto, and watch it working. Watch the mind working. Do not interfere. Do not try to control or try to interfere the defilement. Let it as it be.
There is still anxiety.
Yes, correct. And you cannot do with it. Do anything to it. Just only watch it. Okay.
I've been studying Luang Por teaching for 4 years, have attended some courses before, have had a Dharma interview with his teacher before. In formal practice, I did 1 hour sitting meditation and 1 to 2 hours walking meditation each day. In daily life, I use mindfulness of breathing in my daily practice. My question is, during the last interview, Ajahn gave me homework to practice seeing the difference between the true and fabricated knower. I gathered that in order to experience the true knower or stable observer, I needed to improve my samadhi by doing more formal meditation. In the past few years, I have used the breath as my meditation object. However, when observing the breath during the sitting meditation, I will fall asleep very quickly, especially in afternoons and nights. So I decided to switch walking meditation whenever I felt sleepy, using the vibration feeling on the feet as my object. Although walking meditation prevented me from feeling sleepy, I still found smart practice to be tiring instead of refreshing, as taught by Luang Por Pramod. I would like to ask Ajahn what went wrong with my practice. Is the sleepiness due to choosing a wrong meditation object, which I do not like, or is there another reason? If the problem lies with the object, can Ajahn suggest suitable meditation object for me, as I'm still researching for one?
เพื่อที่จะสัมผัสผู้รู้ที่แท้จริงจำเป็นต้องพัฒนาสมาธิโดยการนั่งสมาธิให้มากขึ้นในช่วงหลายปีที่ผ่านมาใช้ลมหายใจเป็นอารมณ์กรรมฐานแต่ในช่วงบ่ายและตอนเย็นมักจะง่วงนอนเร็วเมื่อดูลมหายใจดังนั้นจึงตัดสินใจเปลี่ยนไปเดินจงกรมเมื่อรู้สึกง่วงโดยสังเกตความสั่นสะเทือนที่เท้าแม้ว่าการเดินจงกรมจะช่วยป้องกันความง่วงแต่ก็ยังรู้สึกว่าการฝึกการปฏิบัติแบบสมถะทำให้เหนื่อยแทนที่จะสดชื่นขอถามอาจารย์ว่าการปฏิบัติมีปัญหาอยู่ตรงไหนความง่วงนี้เกิดจากการเลือกอารมณ์กรรมฐานที่ไม่ชอบหรือมีสาเหตุอื่นหากปัญหาอยู่ที่อารมณ์กรรมฐานอาจารย์ช่วยแนะนำอารมณ์กรรมฐานที่เหมาะสมได้หรือไม่เพราะกำลังค้นหาวิธีที่เหมาะสมอยู่ครับ
In fact, your problem isn't with the object of meditation. Sometimes, while observing, your mind is not neutral. While observing, you try to interfere, try to control. You have to listen to me first, okay? When you're observing the phenomena, you're trying to control it. You're trying to observe it clearly. So you come down and try to interfere with the phenomena. So I would suggest you to walk in meditation instead. When the craving arises within the mind also, when you're craving for seeing phenomena clearly also as well, when you're craving for it for something to disappear, like the tightness to disappear, it's like you're trying to fight against your own feelings. So just be more relaxed, chillax. Whatever arises, know so. While walking meditation is better. Sitting meditations makes your mind overfocusing, like staring at an object or phenomena to see, searching for things. Instead of observing without interference, you stare at it. Could you see that now there's tightness? It's still and it's tight. This is not natural. Walking is better, okay? Is there any other questions?
Ajahn, when I'm walking, right, my object is the vibration of the feet. So far at the moment, what I'm doing is, I try to make it very light so that my mind doesn't go deep into the legs. So I try to just note the vibration that just go to the next step. So I'm not sure if like this is okay.
When you try to walk.
When you try to do walking meditation,
you are too focusing to when you are your foot.
You are over-focusing
on the floor.
on your steps on the floor.
But your mind is jumping in to the feet.
But you send your mind out to the foot, which is incorrect.
So walk naturally.
Just walk naturally.
Just only watch the body walking.
Try to observe the body walking.
Come on, walk.
Can you try walking for me to see?
Just be natural.
Be more natural.
This is with focusing.
You are all focusing right now.
Okay. Okay, stop.
Stop.
When you walk, just see.
While
see the
walking,
body moving.
try to observe the body movement.
See the body.
Just see the movement of the body
See the body moving with the natural mind.
with natural
Don't try to
mind.
focus anything.
Do not stare or focus on anything.
Last moment you walk, you are focused.
Just now, you focus on a particular
Just
object.
only walk easily.
Just walk.
Yeah, okay, that's better.
You got better.
Okay.
Okay, enough.
So I think a problem is like when you walk,
Your problem is, while walking, you're over-focusing
on every step that you walk.
on every step that you
So
take.
just be more natural.
Be more natural,
Just relax.
more relaxed.
So better to let the mind working.
Let the mind work.
So when you walk,
While walking,
the best thing to do is you can let the mind going off.
you can let the mind wander off.
Let the mind going off.
Once you let the mind wander off,
Natural.
the mind will be more
But
natural.
like you are.
But you are now trying to focusing on the mind. You're forcing the mind to stay within the body.
Stay in your body.
If you force the mind to stay within the body, your mind cannot work.
You be more natural.
So be more natural
And
while walking.
do not focus on when the foot step on the floor.
And do not focus on the foot or the floor. Otherwise, your mind will sending out. Otherwise, you're sending out the mind to the feet.
Just only feel
Just
the whole
observe the whole body. Feel the whole body. Send it. Okay?
Ajahn, just clarify. When you say sense the whole body, that means just the feel of the air. You brush through the air and then you just feel like there's air, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Pardon?
When you say sense the whole body, right?
Yes.
Does it mean that as I walk through, I can feel like there's brushing against the air? I mean the air?
Oh no.
Not like that.
Not that. When you feel that the air is
When you
you sense the air. The air is
if you try to sense the air
or to the whole body.
to the whole body,
Not something like that.
Okay.
Not something like that.
it's incorrect.
But if you feel that your mind is not staying with the walking.
If you feel that your mind wanders off from the body walking,
you just know it.
it's wander off to see other things.
And when
You just have to know it.
the sensation of the body.
Instead, observe the bodily and
Don't try
sensations.
to see it with the heavy mind, because you can see it, but you see with the heavy mind.
You can observe
You try to stand
the body movement, but your mind is heavy
and your mind is not.
because you stare at it, making your mind.
So
That's mean you're observing with the unnatural mind.
Just only see it and then come.
Whatever
back to
happens, just observe the phenomena and then come back to walking meditation. If you try to sense the air,
and you have the feeling. You have feeling that it's a bit cold.
You could feel that the coldness, the chill.
The air condition in this room is cold.
So, for example, in this room,
you just know it.
the temperature is quite cold.
Because
You just feel it.
Right now, the moment for your practice is to walk. See the body walk.
Right now, it's your practice should observe the body movement.
Other than just walking, you just know that the mind.
Whatever happens, which is not the body movement, you just know so.
Sometimes your mind going off to feel the air.
Sometimes you send the mind out to feel the air, try to feel the temperature, how cold it is. Your mind are sending out. By doing that, you are lost.
Okay, and understand?
Sorry, I still don't fully understand because like when I try to see my body, right, I will tend to see something, like either my mind has to attach to some point on my body. Like how do I actually see my body without seeing something? Like,
What you mean is like your mind.
Yeah, let's say if I start walking meditation, then my mind will try to be aware of something like an object, one specific object. And let's say if I just walk through without any object, just seeing my body, then my mind will try to identify, get a bit confused, like where should I be paying attention to?
We just feel that your mind is confused.
Oh, okay.
Just know that your mind is confused.
Mind is confused. You just know that you are confusing.
Okay.
Yes.
Know that you are confused. You are being confused. It's not related to the body walking because you're sending mind out to the thoughts.
And try to see, figure out how is the correct way to the walk.
And your thoughts was like, oh, how could I correct this?
The mind is confused.
Just try to be aware that the mind is confused.
So when you walk and have the question,
whenever you're being curious or you have any questions while walking, you have to be aware that your mind raising the question, you might have a question.
We watch the mind working in every way. Because right the moment
this way you can observe the mind.
You only see the body move.
And you come back to see the body movement.
You might arise something.
Whenever something arises within your mind,
even if it is a question, even if it's a confusion,
even if it is a question or curiosity, you just have to be aware of it. And then start walking again. So all sort of questions, all the confusion are not important.
So the most important is
the most important thing is,
and you see mind going off to work.
While walking, you could see the mind sending out or wander away. This is how you practice mindfulness.
Okay, so we continue to practice.
Actually, just one question. Like for walking, like when you say I should do walking, right? Can I also use breathing for like day-to-day activity? Like just use the breath as my anchor. Like if I'm doing washing things and everything, I turn to the breath as a object to fall back to. Is that okay?
You can try. I think you can try.
Okay.
But
I think you can try doing the breath mindfulness.
You should make for my suggestion.
In my view,
the breathing you choose may not suitable for you.
Mindful breathing might not be suitable for you. This is my opinion.
It's easier to see the body moving.
It's a lot easier to observe the body moving.
You have all the many thinking.
If you have a lot of thoughts come to your mind, it's very difficult.
Hard to see all of it.
To observe.
So practice it. What is easier to watch.
So try to observe something more easier.
Maybe hard to walk.
Breathing is something difficult.
For you because
difficult for you to use as an object of meditation.
The mind will jump into your nose.
Because whenever you try to use the breath as an object, you'll send the mind out to the nose.
Mind going off to
Instead,
going off to have
observe the body walking and try to observe the mind that wander off to think.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have studied Luang Por's teaching in the past 5 years. I've attended a retreat before and have reported my practice to you before as well.
ศึกษาคำสอนของหลวงพ่อ
My formal practice, I breathe in put and breathe out to. During my daily life, I do sitting meditation, walking meditation. When I sit, I observe the breath. When I do walking meditation, I see the movements of the body and the stillness of the body, with the thoughts escaping. As the thoughts thinking, I become aware. Question: I've studied Luang Por's teaching for 5 years. My formal practice has been continuous by doing sitting meditation for about half an hour each day. During these days, I don't do a lot of walking meditation. During daily life, my thoughts escape. Once it escapes, I become aware again and again. My awareness arise more frequently. Please provide guidance. What you've done is good. Continue.
บางทีมันเห็นการทำงานของกาย
Sometimes when you could observe the body and mind working better,
บางที
sometimes
เห็น
can you see
งานของจิตใจได้เองแล้ว
the mind start to see the working of the mind on its own? What you do is already good.
มันไม่จำเป็น
Continue.
เห็น
There is no need to see everything throughout day and night.
เนือง
Just see it frequently. Do it again and again. What you do is good.
อย่าคิดว่าไม่ดีที่ทำ
Don't think it's good. Don't think that it's bad.
เวลานั่งดูลมหายใจอะ
When you do the sitting meditation, observing your
ประมาณ
breath,
เดี๋ยวนะทำวันละครึ่งชั่วโมง
you do it half an hour a day,
แล้วก็เดินจงกรมไม่ค่อยมาก
and then you do walking meditation.
ถ้าเกิด
So try to
นั่ง
adjust.
รู้สึกว่ามัน
If you do the sitting meditation and you fixating, staring too much, probably walking is better.
ทำอยู่ก็ทำต่อไปแล้ว
So whatever you do is good. Continue.
แต่ตอนนี้มัน
But at this moment,
ตอนนี้มันแน่นอึดอัดรู้สึกไหม
it's a little tight, congested. Can you feel?
รู้ไปว่ามืออึดอัด
可以感觉出来。
เออรู้ไปเฉยๆว่ามืออึดอัดไม่ต้องทำอะไร
Just know so.
เออรู้อย่างที่มันเป็นอ่ะนั่นแหละไปทำต่อนะไม่มีอะไรเยอะ
Just continue your practice.
ไม่มีอะไรเยอะทำต่อ
There's nothing much for you.
想请教一下老师，这个五蕴的分离的方法。
I would like to
ask, how do I separate out the
วิ
aggregates?
ธีการแยกขันธ์ห้าก็ที่เราทำนี่แหละ
So what you do is actually the way to do it is to be mindful.
รู้ไปรู้
Be
กายรู้ใจไป
mindful of your body and
ทุก
mind.
ครั้งที่รู้อย่างที่มันเป็นอ่ะ
Every time you becomes aware of things the way they are, sometimes you're just sitting there and the mind moves to
ใจ
think.
มันหลง
When the mind is lost in the world of your thoughts and you become aware, then you become aware that you're thinking. And the mindfulness arises that you're thinking.
ขณะที่มีสติรู้ว่านี่
The
กำลัง
moment that you become aware that you're
จิตมัน
thinking,
กลับมาอยู่กับ
the mind actually comes back to your awareness, and this is the correct kind of samadhi, and you see that the mind has moved to think.
อันนี้มันแยกแล้ว
That's actually the mind. The aggregates have already separated. The observing mind is one thing. The thoughts is another. The thoughts are the mental formations,
มีจิตอันหนึ่ง
and there is one mind observing, and there is mental formation separating. Don't worry about the separation. It's actually just the terminology. It's actually just seeing the working of the body and the mind.
เดินจงกรม
As
เห็นกาย
for example, if you do the walking meditation, you see the body working and there is a mind observing the body moving. As there is a mind observing the body, that's already separating of the aggregates. And you see that the body that's being observed is not us. And once you see that it's like a robot that you just tell it to walk, and then you tell the robot to do the walking, to make movements. If you could see this, the aggregates are already separating. There is a mind observing, seeing the body that's moving. You can feel it already. Once in a while, you can feel this, you can see this. A lot of times, you're not impartial yet, so you feel like it's not good enough. You feel that you cannot see it, and it's not complete in your mind yet. When you have these feelings, just become aware and continue. Just become aware that there's something that's not clear to you. You feel questioning in your mind whether you're already cultivating wisdom. You have the worries whether the aggregates are separating. Whenever you have these feelings, just become aware. Continue. What you do, it's good. Be careful about the impartiality of your mind. Just be impartial when you observe them. Whatever that has arisen, and the mind starts to criticize whether it's good or bad, that your practice today is bad, the mind is not good today, the mind is impartial, it's not impartial, then just become aware. Whatever that has arisen, just become aware. Every time you understand, you see it correctly, at that moment, the mind is an observer. When the mind is the observer, the aggregates are already separating. There's the mind observing, and there's an object that's being observed. That's an aggregation separation. So continue. I have studied Luang Por's teaching for 6 years. I've attended a retreat before, and I've already reported my homework to you before. In my formal practice, I recite Om Mani Padme Hum and observe the mind escapes. During my daily life, I recite Om Mani Padme Hum. Question: I have a weak mind. I've seen that I've spent so much time on my mobile phone and I felt tight in my chest. I'm not sure whether because the mind is so scattered for a long time and the mind started over focusing automatically. But when I come back to my meditation object temporarily, the mind becomes a little more calm sometimes, but sometimes I just cannot. Could you please provide guidance?
พอกลับมาที่วิหารธรรมบางครั้งจิตสามารถสงบลงได้บางครั้งก็ไม่ได้ขออาจารย์แนะนำด้วยครับ
What you do is already good. It's actually correct that sometimes it's calm, sometimes it's not calm. Just observe it the way it is. Do the mantra chanting, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But when you see and then the mind becomes stable, and then that's good. But sometimes you could see and it's not impartial and the defilements don't disappear. Just become aware. When you feel that the mind is weak, just know that it's being weak. But usually it's not weak. Can you tell that actually you have a lot of opinions? You have a lot of opinions. So then you actually holding on to your opinions very tightly. When you are very opinionated, there's a kind of defilement. Observe this. What you do is actually good. Continue with your practice. You can see more nowadays. Can you see? You see that there is progress. Your mind is more impartial. The mind becomes more impartial, becomes an observer. When you worry that the mind is weak, the mind is not good, the mind is not calm, or you cannot see anything, it's fooling you. It's a thought that is fooling you. these thoughts are actually fooling you, that your mind is not good, that the mind is weak, that the mind is not calm. So when you have these thoughts, just don't pay attention to it, just know that you're thinking. But sometimes the problem is when you have these opinions, you have this weakness that once you have a thought and you hold on to these opinions so strongly and you start to suffer, the mind starts to suffer with these clinging to your opinions. Try to observe this. What you do is actually what you've done is good. Continue. You've made good progress. Can you see that you have more happiness, more calmness? You have more happiness and calmness, and keep reciting your mantra. You see the mind moves. Once the mind moves, just know so. Keep chanting your mantra. Good. What you do is good. You feel that you have more happiness and calmness?
每次见到老师就感觉特别开心，然后就感觉好像接上了快速充电桩一样，感觉到自己的禅定层层的往上跳。可每次回去之后就超不过10天半个月就废掉了那种。所以我有时候就在想，是不是老师面前这个就好一点？回去之后是不是因为心力的那个波动太强了，所以导致自己信心会经常的会气馁掉。
Every time I see you, I see the teacher, I feel happy, I feel the joy, and then I could see every clearly. And then when I go home, I return home, I feel like the batteries are dying, running out of power. It's the same for everyone. When everyone is in a retreat, when you meet with the teachers, everyone is like this. I'm like this too. When I'm close to Luang Po, when I'm closer to teachers, you feel warm in your heart because you're close to them. You feel that you become aware more easily. Actually, what actually makes you practice good progress is your daily life. Whatever that's not good, what's not calm, what's not tranquil, is actually, those are the good teachers. When you're in a retreat, when you're during the course, it's like recharging your batteries. It's just that exactly the way it is. But the reality to really challenge you from your progress is your daily life. But you see that it's bad. You see that the mind is restless and scattered. You see that it actually brings a lot of busyness, restlessness to your mind. That's the real teacher. Practice that way. I remember you. I could remember you. What you've practiced, you've made good progress. You could observe the mind now. You continue. Sometimes, when it's impartial, it's normal. That's normal that everyone has to encounter. It won't be good every day, and it wouldn't be bad every day. As long as you keep observing these changes, that it's not us. If it's us, you can control it. It can be under your command. Since it's not under your command, it's not us. Keep observing. This is the angle. Try to observe this from this angle. You've done enough. You've done a lot. It's still not under your control. It's not under your command. These feelings are something that comes and goes. There is no mind that is constant, permanent. You see these changing. It changes. You observe these with the mind that has good samadhi. And the mind's actually already started cultivating wisdom. You see the workings. You see that it arises and falls away. That's already a part of the wisdom cultivation. When you're at home and you feel bad and the defilements are overwhelming, or you feel like you cannot become mindful, become aware, that's also normal. When I'm here, I'm like this. When I do my work, when you stay with a lot of defilements, it trains you to become stronger. It's so hard to avoid these days. Nowadays, you cannot be at a temple all the time. You cannot be at the retreat all the time. So in daily life, it's so important. Luang Po has trained us based on the principle that can be used in real daily life. That's one of the reasons that I became interested in my Dhamma study, because the principle that Luang Po had taught us can be used in real life. Because when you go out to do your work, in daily life, you run into so many problems. You cannot be at the temple and stay with calmness, doing samadhi all day. Just use these feelings that you encounter during these days at your office. You meet with people at the office, at home. The work is so hectic. The world that is so hectic. When you encounter these things, use these things, something that comes to contact with your mind, become aware of them. That's the practice. Nowadays, this is how you have to practice. In the current world, nowadays, people like us cannot be happy and calm easily. The lifestyle is so under oppression for you to suffer. It's so tiring each day. That's life. Especially people in the present days, in the working age. You still have the energy to go to work. When each day when you wake up, it feels like you being whipped and sent out to work. Like someone is forcing you to make money, otherwise you will not survive. It's so much struggling, so much oppression, both inside and outside. The outside world, it's already hard to survive. There's so many things going on all the time, a lot of news. It's so hard to find calmness or happiness in your daily life. It's just you being hit all the time. Someone is caning you every day, and then you're tired. You get home, you fall asleep, and you wake up, and you repeat this. You're being caned again to go out and work. That's life. Life is being driven by these things. How do you survive to have happiness in this hectic world? So that's why you have to practice. Luang Po had emphasized that for practitioners, for lay people, that we can do this, we can practice this. People who are still lay people, you have to rely on this mindfulness, and during your daily life, you go about your life, whatever that comes to contact, become aware of it. Let the sense doors, your eyes, your ears, your nose, your tongue, your mind, whatever comes to contact with you, and then there is any changes inside your mind, you become aware. So rather than letting the world drag you along, you can live with it. Whatever the sufferings arise in your mind, become aware of it. The work is so busy and hectic and full of confusion today. If you cannot see anything, what can you do? Just become aware that you cannot see, or become aware of anything, that you cannot see anything. Then that's how you observe the mind. If you like to observe the body, just keep observing the body. You have to observe them. If you want to observe the mind, you have to see as they really are. When you cannot observe, you cannot become aware of anything, or you cannot see anything, there's nothing for you to see. Become aware. When the mind is not good, become aware that it's not good. When the mind is restless, just become aware. That's the training, that whenever something comes to contact with the mind, you become aware easily. Be mindful of whatever comes to contact with the mind. These feelings that arise all the time, each day, it's the real teacher, it's the lab, it's in action. Whatever that comes to contact, and when you dislike, you go to work, your boss scolded you, and you feel disliking, you feel bad, you don't like it, you feel like it, you've become aware. You see someone that you like, you happy, you just become aware. Be mindful to become aware of any phenomena that arise in your mind. Be present, stay with the present at that each and every moment. And then eventually, you see that wherever you are, you can practice well. You feel close to the teacher. This is for all of you. This is something that everyone has to encounter. You cannot avoid these. You have to live with it happily. Your mind that is so tired from this world, if you're mindful consistently, you see that the world is one part. The world is the sufferings of the world, but the mind is not jumping, clinging to the world and suffering with the world. There's some space, some distance between your mind and the heated world. So there's no need to gain anything from your practice, and actually you're gaining happiness from just this. This is for everyone. This is something everyone has to encounter, has to experience. Even though you are already staying in the monastery, it's another world. Sometimes the world in the temple is busier than the outside world. It can be so many conflicts, more than the outside world itself. It's a lot of differing opinions that actually the conflicts can be more severe than the outside world. Inside the temple and in monasteries, it's another world. So you cannot avoid that you have to come to contact with objects, with something that comes to contact with your mind, and use this as a tool for you to practice. And you can be liberated from sufferings with all these chaos in the world. And you can be free from suffering in each and every moment that you become aware of it. So these feelings that it's just sinking, staying in your mind, there's an exit, there's an escape from these feelings. There's already a lot of happiness. There is no need to achieve anything from your practice. Just become mindful of each moment. The mind doesn't get heated. The mind doesn't suffer. Getting dragged along with the world, you already have a lot of happiness. Try to do this. So for you, continue with your practice. Wherever you are, at home or in the retreat, you have to be able to practice. What you do is actually, what you've been doing is good. Continue. I'll just give you extra. Be careful with your opinions. So whenever you have any opinions, and you're so confident in your opinions, and then it could bring sufferings to you, try to observe this. This is the defilements that arise often for you. But what you do is good. Continue. And when you have a chance, we'll meet again. Any other questions?
就刚刚老师讲那段话的时候，提到一句话，就我控制不了的时候，我的心就突然一下就感觉到很紧的在颤抖着，好像不知道是什么触动到的，有一点那种莫名的有一种恐惧感。这个是不是我那个执着的部分在那里在卡着我？
When I see that it's out of control, I have some fear. I would like to know whether because I'm actually clinging on to something. When you feel that things are out of control, you have some fear. So become aware of the fear. Sometimes the fear arises and it alternates with some clinging, holding. It changes. They could differ. If you are feeling fearful, just know so. When you're clinging tight, just know so. The part that you actually feeling attached, clinging, that's the part. When you have the clinging, the mind will feel inflated. When you have strong confidence, you feel the inflation of the body. The body will get inflated. But if you have fear, the body will shrink. That's the characteristics of the mind. And when you have this opinion, and you feel that it has to be this way, and then your body becomes big, the mind gets bigger. But when you lack confidence in something, the mind gets smaller. Whatever arises, become aware. Whatever the feelings that arise, whether it gets bigger, inflated, or whether it gets deflated, become aware. And it keeps alternating between these. When you feel fearful of something, there could be no cause. Some fear could arise without any reason. You don't even know what you're fearful of. But it's the feelings that arise at this moment. You just know that you're feeling fearful. Just become aware, and that's it, and that's the end of it. It doesn't have any significance. It's just the feelings that arise. And just like the clinging and the attachment, sometimes you're holding on to something, you're clinging to something, and then the ego gets inflated. Sometimes you're holding on tight to some opinions, and you have the confidence in doing something, and then the mind suffers. You actually suffering from this attachment when it doesn't happen the way you want it to be, or it doesn't become the way you thought it would be, and then you could suffer a lot. Whatever that you hold on to something tight, become aware of it. Whatever your opinions are holding on to something, just become aware of this. Become aware frequently, and your mind will get comfortable. That
I've been studying Luang Por teachings for about a year. I used to attend courses but never submit homework to Ajahn. During the formal practice, while observing the movement of my hands moving and still, while walking, I observe the feet. Moving and then still. In daily life, whenever there's a movement, that I can practice mindfulness. Whenever the thought arises or any kind of emotions happens, I make it as to practice mindfulness. My question is, while walking or sitting meditation, my mind often become restless, sometimes overcasting. Once I become aware, there's still the force, the craving to control it, making my chest tight. Can you give me guidance, please? You see it correctly. That's how it is. Whenever you want to control, try to get rid of it, making that particular area is very tight. When you're focusing, when you're craving, arising, craving for that particular emotions or feelings gone, there are three types of cravings. There are three types of cravings. The first one, when you're wanting something, you're craving for something. The second one is when you want something to stay. You want something that's going on, stay as long as you please. And the third one is craving for non-existent, when you don't want something. The craving will revolving around these three. The first one is like when you're wanting this and wanting that. You're wanting, for example, good feelings through six senses. This is called craving for existence. Craving for sensual pleasures. And the other one is craving for existence, which is one particular events or particular phenomena stay as long as you please. And the third one is when you're craving for non-existence. You want something that happened fall away. When you want to get rid of it, when you want to cast it away, once craving or this kind of craving arises, it makes your mind tight and becomes tight. Once craving arises, you tend to start taking action, act it out. So be aware of the mind that is craving for something. You're craving for getting rid of it or craving for controlling things. This is one type of craving, actually. Be aware of it. The mind will be impartial. This is good. Now, here's good. Be aware of this craving good. It's very appropriate for you. Now your mind is stable. Just be aware, and that's it. Be aware of the craving that arising. It keeps circulating. Sometimes you're wanting this, sometimes you're wanting that. And sometimes you want something to last longer. Sometimes you want something to go away. Be aware of this craving, good. You can observe the mind. Be aware of the changes of the mind. You can observe the body movements and be aware of it, and then you can use this as an object of meditations and be aware of the mind changes. Is there other questions?
请问老师，要怎么样观心的变化？
Do I have to the movement of the mind? How could I observe this? To observe the changes of the mind. This is very difficult to explain. Naturally, the mind are inclined towards changing. Where it's moving towards six sense doors. The first one through the eyes, where to image. It's moved towards the ears. To what? To listening. To listening to sounds. Through the nose. To smell. Through the tongue. To taste. To the body. In order to perceive the bodily sensations like coldness, hot, or touch, and through the mind to feel the mental phenomena. It's like, for example, thoughts, anything that take place within the mind. The mind can move through six ways. If you can be aware of it, like, can you remember what Lobot taught this morning? It's very good. The mind can move through six doors. Whatever you can observe, you do so. Sometimes you could feel that it moves towards the eye to see image. Once you see image, then the feeling arises within your heart. You like this picture, and you see this person, you like her. You see this person, you dislike him. There are feelings followed. There are reactions which give rise to defilements. There's fabrications which could be aversion, delusion, and greed. And then you hold on to it. You attach to something, defilement arises. You can observe anything you can. These are the characteristics of the mind that's moving away. The mind works swiftly. It takes only a moment to happen. You can see whichever point of interest, whichever point, depend on your mindfulness, whether it's quick or not. If you have quick mindfulness, for example, there are thunder. If you have quick mindfulness, you can see the mind move towards the thunder to listen to the thunder. Sometimes you couldn't see it. You become startled. If you have the quick mindfulness, you could see that it's just a sound. But if your mindfulness is not quick enough, there's a feeling arises. For example, excitement or you become startled.
เกิดเวทนาเกิดการกระทบผัสสะเกิดการกระทบผัสสะ
There's contact making, feeling arises. There's frightening.
ทุกข์ใจความทุกข์ใจ
It causes you suffering. Aversion arises as well. Aversion follows. You can see any part of this. This is when the mind moves.
เห็นตรงไหนก็ได้
You can see whichever
เรา
point.
ทันตรงไหน
It's up to your mindfulness whether it's quick or not. But it can move through 6 senses.
เพราะฉะนั้น
Therefore,
รู้ทันจิตมันเคลื่อนไป
you can be aware of the mind that moves.
เราก็ต้องอยู่กับเครื่องอยู่
How could we be?
หัดยังไง
You have to meditate on an object.
ให้เราเห็นนะว่ามันไป
You have to be aware of the mind that moves.
ก็ถึงว่าที่เราต้องมาหัดกันเนี่ยนะหัดมาอยู่
This is when we try to train ourselves to be with the observations that you like. When the mind moves away from the objects, no so, moves again, no so again. When you meditate on the objects, you have to do with relaxing mind. And once it moves away, no so, moves again, no so again. This is when you try to train the mindfulness so that it becomes quicker. Once your mindfulness becomes quicker, suffering wouldn't be able to arise. For example, if there was a thunder and you become frightened, you become scared. If you have the mindfulness to be aware of it, the frightening feelings wouldn't arise. You hear the sound through the ears. You have a mindfulness knowing through the ears. The fear can't even arise because the mind hasn't interpreted. This is the nature of the mind. If you have the mindfulness of this, then you would discover that there is actually no self. Something that is just illusion. Once there is interpretations, there's some holding on interpretation, there would be a wrong interpretation. There would be a wrong self. There would be a self which is wrong. Sometimes the mind hasn't interpreted what it is yet. But you have the mindfulness to be aware of the hearing or thinking. Sometimes you didn't even know the story of the mind. You just knew that the mind thinks. You know that it thought. Then the thoughts will fall away. Sometimes you couldn't be aware of it. And the thought will be interpreted as story, feelings, and you thought that these feelings really exist. But actually, it is a process of illusion, of delusion. But if you become mindful, you become an observer. Instead of following these feelings and stuff, you become an observer. You become smarter. You start to learn that these things are just feelings. It arises and falls away. The things that arise and fall away are not self, are not us. So this is for the rest of us to practice. You can do what each master guide you. It's something from the experience of the masters and teachers. So we should create our own knowledge and understanding. We can create these understanding by ourselves by training the mindfulness and samadhi, right mindfulness samadhi, and right mind. In these 7 days course, the things that we gain will be the principle to give rise to the right mindfulness and samadhi. And when you come back to your home, you use your daily life as a practice field. Whatever happens, know so. Whatever feeling arises, know so. And then you realize that all kinds of things that make you suffer, they will be more pacified. You'll have the solution to the problems, to the suffering. Some issues, some world issues cannot be solved just one time. There's a lot of issues, myriads of issues. Sometimes you can fix them, sometimes you couldn't. But all these problems bring suffering to your heart. For those who never practice, they will keep on struggling and striving for solving this problem and become suffer as well, together with the issues. Happiness comes, they become jumping overjoy, and one day they wake up in the morning and they start the whole process again. They're searching for happiness, striving for happiness, striving for something they like. All kinds of feelings keep circulating like this. But once you come to practice Dhamma, there's a solution, there's an ending. Once it ends, you never born again. You don't have to keep on circulating like this anymore. Lord Buddha said that this is the single only path, the full foundation of mindfulness. What he means is that it's the one-way ticket. It's never return. You never return to the suffering again. Most people would think that if they get this, get that car, house, money, loved ones, they'll be happy. But in fact, if you look carefully, whatever you have, you suffer from it. You have houses, you suffer from them. You have cars, you suffer from them. You have loved ones, you suffer from them. You will suffer from whatever you possess. Everything's like a coin. There are two sides. You are happy with the loved ones, and on the flip side, you also suffer from them. You have houses, you are happy to reside in a house, but sometimes it's getting old, it need to be getting fixed. You become suffer. You see that everything has two sides of the coins. There's nothing one side. There are two sides of coins always. Why? Because these are worldly affairs, like Lord Buddha taught us. Everything's are like two sides of the coins. There are duality of these things. So we keep learning about these things by training mindfulness. This job has endings. Learning about the truth of the body and mind, so that we can let go of the attachment towards the body and mind, which is which is what we love most, our body and mind. Try to satisfy our mind. Try to satisfy ourself, the me, the I, to satisfy the feelings within me. Once we can let go of these feelings, then there will be a vast happiness happen. This is the job that can be done, and you never have to do it again. This is the only single path. It's one-way ticket. There's no return. We are on the same path. We have to learn about. I have to learn about myself. I don't succeed at this yet. I have to keep continuing practice as well. So we are friends of the Dhamma practice, so that I can share my experience with you guys. This is something I have to learning as well. But I'm determined that when I do, I'm certain that this path is the single path. It has ending. I'm certain of it. I'm certain that I wouldn't change my mind, because this way, this path, once you walked it, there will be no more burden. So the true suffering is actually being born, coming back and born again. You have to start the whole process again. You have to start possessing things again. So the reason that we become suffer is because we're born. Why? Whatever arising, they need to fall away. Because they are arising, so it causes suffering. So that's all for us. Anumodana everyone.